Guys, welcome to the Wednesday Cardone University Mastermind. My name is Steve Spray. I'm coming to you live from the 305 every single Wednesday. I come to you live right here from the studios, the 10X Production Studios, to make sure that you guys are doing everything you can to learn Cardone University and master this program that Grant Cardone put together. So, guys, we do this show live so that way you can call in, drop questions. If you got problems, challenges, objections, we're going to go through some scripts today. If you've got cold call scripts, things that you want to get handled, let me know. We're going to work on them right now during the show. And the number to call in is right at the top. It's 305-865-8668, guys. So welcome to the Wednesday show. We're live right now. And guys, listen, if you've got a team right now gathered around, have somebody call in. Reach out. Let me know what phone call you guys are making right now. If you're an individual, you're by yourself right now, do not be shy. Call me up. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so when we collaborate together, that's what the mastermind's about. A mastermind is about bringing like-minded people together to throw ideas around about how they can be successful. The thing that we're going to do, though, is we're going to focus it around the Cardone University program. So if you want to call in, if you want to contribute to that, 305-865-8668. So, guys, before we get started, okay, what I want you to do, if you're watching this from a computer, right now, what I want you to do is I want you to pull up an additional tab on your browser, and I want you to type in grantcardonebootcamp.com. grantcardonebootcamp.com. The reason why I'm having you do this right now is because the deal that we have there right now, we're getting ready to take this down. They told me to make sure to drop it on the mastermind because the last people who are going to hear about the deal where you get a boot camp ticket, plus we're giving you an executive ticket to 10X Growth Conference 3.
That's off the table now.
That one's off the table? Which one's back on the table?
So, next 50 people.
Oh, the next 50 people.
Get hotel included.
Oh, that's, I got it. So the next, see, this is what's happening, man. We're actually selling out of this product so quick. The reason it's happening is because we're only going to do about 200 to 225 people at this event in Miami. Here's the kicker. It's 3 days of Grant Cardone all day long. This is sales seminar. This is closing seminar. This is not a bundle of people together like the 10X Growth Conference. This is Grant Cardone for 3 days. Okay, this is the only place in the world that you can get this. So for the next 50 people to call in on this deal, call our office and we're going to get you hooked up with the sales boot camp. We're going to get your hotel for free at no charge. Okay, that's $300 per night. It's at the Diplomat, man. It's one of the nicest hotels in this area. Okay, so guys, go to grantcardonebootcamp.com. Check it out. We're running that deal. There's not going to be a whole lot of seats, and really there's not going to be a whole lot of opportunity. The biggest opportunity for you right now is to be sitting inside of an aquarium with a guy worth $300 million, right? When was the last time you sat inside an aquarium and breathed the oxygen of a guy that successful? There's going to be some things that are going to rub off on you. He's probably going to be talking to you about business strategies, sales techniques, closing techniques that you're not using right now that you're going to be able to take back with you. Okay, so that event's going to be worth probably $1 million to you in the next couple years. Okay, so guys, go to grantcardonebootcamp.com. And what we're talking about this week, everybody's favorite topic is the cold call. Okay, because that is the one problem I think everybody has. It's keeping the pipeline full. So I get a lot of messages every week. I get people who send me questions. They send me their scripts. They send me everything. They tell me how much they're loving the mastermind. They tell me what problems they're having. And one thing I always get, problems with the actual cold call. So what I want you to do is I want you to do this. I'm going to show you the video that we're going to talk about today because Grant goes over 8 different strategies to guarantee success on the call. And so my man Johnny is going to help walk us through. If you're inside the full curriculum right now, you're going to scroll down, and if you go right inside Master the Cold Call, I'm going to show you where I'm going to get this training from today. Okay, I pulled all this information that there's a lot of information just from this one segment right here. So what happens is this. You want to go to Master the Cold Call, and then inside Master the Cold Call, there's a category called Preparing for the Cold Call. Preparing for the cold call. There's going to be a video all the way down at the bottom. Now, I got a lot of data and a lot of information from this. They can't see.
Yeah, they can only see the screen right now.
Man, we got Jared Glenn, young hustler, dropping in on some cold calls.
Dropping in on script.
That's right. All the way down at the bottom right there, guys. Look, video number 9 down there, 8 ways to guarantee your success on the call. That's what we're talking about right now. So what I want to do is I want to show you guys how you can use one video out of this entire program to change the way you're doing things. Okay, this whole program right here, what we're going to go through. So I'm going to go through these topics right now. Before we do that, I want to go ahead and take a caller. Okay, I want to reward the people who called in first. That way I can answer them, handle their objections, and see what they got. Let's see if we got some cold call objections.
Michael in Toronto.
I love that. Michael, how's it going? Michael, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing incredible. You calling in from Toronto. What's up, man? What can I help you out with this week?
So I think you're doing cold calling stuff today, correct?
That's what I'm talking about, but you can drop anything you want, man. I'd love to help you out any area that you have.
So what I'm doing, brother, I'm just, let's say, going on my own for my mortgage business. Same thing. I spoke to Albert Preciado as well. Same thing he was telling me. I just want to have some tricks because I'm pitching realtors for new business. What can you recommend?
Pitching realtors for new business. What can you recommend?
Okay, you're pitching realtors for new business. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to show you where to actually find how to build a script. There's a whole program in here. Let's talk about it. So if you go inside Master the Cold Call, before I answer the question, I want to show you where it's at. Johnny, if you just back up right there. And then if you scroll down, there's going to be the cold call process right there. So this is where you should be at right now. So one thing that you should know, you should be doing all the training before this, but to get a script written out, look, this whole program right here walks you through what to do, what to say. The greeting has its own in-depth training. The big claim has its own in-depth training. So for you need to get all these down right now. The way that you can do this, if you go into video number 6, if you click how to get started building your own scripts,
yeah,
you can download the structure of the cold call right there and then watch the video. So what Grant did was he just went ahead. You can go back. Yeah, right there. So you can go. Yeah, just if you click that, Johnny, that button right there, it's going to just down. You see, this is like a skeleton right here.
Correct.
Okay, it's a skeleton where all you have to do is just download that and then fill it out. So what you want to do is you want to use this to really build some interest. So like, what's the big claim for you? Like, why should I come work for you? If I'm a realtor in Toronto.
What's the big claim?
A big claim, like why would I want to come work for you? I mean, there's probably thousands of places to work as a realtor in Toronto, and why would I want to come work for you? That's a question you guys should be asking right now.
Yeah, correct. So I can guarantee you your approval within 24 hours. Plus, I can increase your business by 20% through referrals that I will generate for you.
Yeah, good, man. How are you going to do that?
You mean what? Guarantee the approval or generate the referral?
How are you going to increase? Look, man, what you've got. So here's what I want to break down to you guys right now. You guys have, so if you're making a cold call, like if you're doing this on a cold call, the first thing that you're going to have, you're not trying to close a guy in that first 30 seconds just on the product. You're really trying to close him on him giving you the time. So your pitch needs to, it actually needs to like cater to that. Like I need to know that the first sale that I'm trying to make on a cold call is just on time. Okay, so thanks, man. Thanks for calling in, man. I'm going to walk him through and I'm going to use some of the steps right here. We're going to help this guy out. So the first sale that this guy's going to make is just on the fact that, hey, man, there's a million other options that you could have out there as a realtor, and this is why you want to give me 30 seconds of your time to tell you what I got. This is where Grant's going to teach you how to build out that first part of your pitch. So the first sale, you need to be thinking with, I need to be able to sell somebody on that time. If you come into my office, one of the cold calls that I do, I just call out to the companies and I say, hey, this is Steve at Grant Cardone's office. How are you? Excellent. Listen, Grant wanted me to reach out and ask you 2 questions. Do you have 30 seconds? Perfect. That was the first question. Second question is this: why aren't we doing business yet? Okay, I'm going right into it, right? I'm going to sell the guy first on some time because I want to get his commitment that like, yeah, I'll give you 30 seconds, whatever, dude. What do you got? You know, that's going to be one of the first things. So that's a little bit more tighter pitch, and that's probably to somebody who knows us. And then, you know, we could talk about some of the other strategies like on a more cold call, but I want to look at these 8 ways to guarantee success on the call. So number 1, believe that you can sell anybody. This comes down to what Grant talks about, being so sold on your product that you know it's for everybody. And so what you need to know is that, hey, listen, if I'm going to get on the phone with somebody, I'm going to be able to pitch them this product of mine because I got a great product. I got a great service. What we do here, you cannot get this anywhere else. And I know for sure that if I can just talk to somebody, that I can sell them. So if I'm going in with that mindset, that's going to help me out. I'm not thinking about like all these like things going into the call, like, oh man, I don't know if he's going to like it. I don't know if they want to do it. And like that, dude, I got an awesome product. If I can just get on the phone with somebody, I know for sure that I can sell them this. Okay. Now I just need to get them on the phone. And if I'm thinking like that, that's the first thing. That's the first thing that you need to know is that, hey, dude, I got the best deal out here. So if you're still unsure of like people maybe in your space that you're like, oh, you need to handle that. And that goes all the way back to selling basics. So number 1, believe that you can sell anyone. 2, believe your product is worth 10x or 100x of what it's worth, or what it actually costs to buy, right? So, you know, I don't know what your product is. I want you to write it out right now. If you're at home taking notes, I want you to write this out. I want you to write down how much your product is worth, how much it's worth, not how much it costs. Okay, because I'll tell you, like, if you come to us and you buy Cardone University and it's 10 grand for a year, dude, the information that I learned inside Cardone University, since I first bought it, I've made $1.9 million myself. So, Johnny, would you spend 10 grand to make 1.9?
Hell yeah.
Yes, you would. I'm not even done yet. I'm barely getting started. My income keeps going up because I keep training. I keep paying every year. I keep buying. I keep going into it. So I want you guys to know, like, hey, look, man, dude, that makes sense. Hey, would you spend that money to actually make this investment? Most of your clients would, but they don't know because you're too busy thinking about how much it costs versus how much it's worth. So if you're going in knowing that, dude, people buying this product, or it's going to help them out incredibly, probably save their life. I can say that Cardone University saved my life. Okay. What I believe though is that it's worth 100 times what I paid for it. And it is, it has been. Okay. So number 3, be willing to call until one of you is eliminated. Okay. Until somebody drops, man, just be willing to like stay in front of people. That doesn't mean you got to call them every single day. You could. Sometimes I would, at least until I get in touch with them. You know, but I got guys I've been calling for like 3 or 4 years. They know me. They like me. They have fun every time I call them. Okay. They know I'm hanging in there until the end. I'm not even closing for 2 or 3 years. I'm not even worried about it. I just know for sure that I will not give up and that they are a deal. So if you're willing to do that and you're willing to hang in there with people and make an impact, all of a sudden people start believing what you believe. So if you believe it enough that, hey, dude, I'm going to close this guy, they'll start believing it. Okay, so I know I got a couple other callers, and I want to get to them. So, next caller.
Yeah, I got Mike, actually Pierre in Montreal.
I got Pierre. How's it going, Pierre?
Hi, I'm doing very well. Actually, I sent you an email earlier this week, and you suggested to call, so I'm calling for that.
Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, you had something about you're with the mortgage company, right?
No, actually, I'm in between 2 careers. I sell phones now. We met at your office in December.
Yeah, no, I know who you are. So you sell phones, but you're going into the mortgage industry. So who do you want to? What do you want to script for? Like, what problem are you looking for right now?
Well, since I'm in between 2 careers, I'm trying to figure out everything perfect at first. So I already know the call structure, the big claim, qualifying, and all that stuff. But since everything you breathe on turns into money, I would like to have a real life example and winning script of yours. Like, what kind of big claim would you use? And yeah, pretty much that's the question.
Well, so this is a great question. So this guy just asked the most broadest question ever. Okay, there's endless amounts of answers to that. I want you guys to understand the questions that you ask, because this is why you don't get answers to them. Right? So like, know who your audience is, like know what question you're trying to like know like where you're going with the deal. So he's asking me like, hey, what's a script that you would use? Well, like to who? Like that's the question. Like who's the person that I'm calling right now? You need to know. You need to know like, dude, who's the person? So for you, man, like who are you thinking with? Are you thinking with a cold call, a warm call, a follow-up call, referral call? Like,
well, that's the thing. So what I would do is use my existing database of customers that I sold in the previous industry and sell them with the new industry. The thing is that there's not much information available about their mortgage, so I can have their address, their home value, but regarding the big claim, I know Grant says to overpromise, but you don't want to at the same time say, hey, you're going to save 50 grand if you switch with us. So how do you balance the big claim thing and still be a really realistic switch?
So how do you balance the big claim? So which industry are you talking about? I think one of the biggest problems for you is that you're thinking in two different industries. There's a video inside
No.
Are you talking about cell phones? Are you talking about cell phones?
No. For mortgage, let's say I want to call a business owners who have a personal home.
Okay.
And I want to sell him mortgage on his personal home.
Got it. Okay, good. So perfect. Now we got this down. So we're a mortgage broker giving a phone call to business owners looking to what? Are you trying to refinance their home? Are you trying to sell them a home? Are you trying to just be their go-to mortgage guy? What's your deal?
Transfer his mortgage to our with our services, basically better rate or refinancing.
Okay, good. So I'm calling business owners. I'm trying to transfer their existing mortgage. They probably got one or maybe even multiple. So good, man. Now we're getting somewhere. What's the big claim? I mean, the biggest problem that you're going to run into, dude, is this. I'm already good where I'm at. So what can you do for them? Why would I want to spend the time? Because if you're calling business owners, I want you to write this down at home. You're calling people who've got more money than they have time.
Right.
So the most valuable thing for him is the time thing. So I'm thinking with that as I call. Now, why would I want to switch? If I have an existing mortgage, why would I want to switch over to you?
Because we take care of all the paperwork and make an extra couple of grand per year without doing anything other than changing who you pay your mortgage to.
Okay, good. So you're going to take care of all the paperwork. Now, is that because I'm already doing the paperwork, or are you creating paperwork for me, but you're going to go ahead and take care of it?
No, but I suppose the guy knows what a mortgage transfer is. So since the guy is time sensitive, I want to take out the complicated stuff out of the equation, so it's this as quick and simple as possible.
But the question I'm getting to is because this is what's going to help you in your call. This is where I'm trying to get to what the actual real big claim is in the call. Why would I want to do this? Why would it make sense for me to take are you lowering my interest rate? Am I getting a better deal? Are you going to lower my monthly payments?
Exactly. Lower interest rate. So you would pay your house 5 years earlier. I don't know what the case is, depending on the situation, but at the end, the benefit is money. Good.
Okay, good. So the benefit is money. So I will be saving money, but maybe let's put a number on it too. So what's the average house that these guys are purchasing? Is it 800 grand, 2 million, 3 million? What I would do for you, man, is I would figure out a range, so that way you can drop it in there. And that way when you give a guy a phone call, hey, listen, man, I know you probably didn't have this on your plate right now. I know that this is not something you expected, but I'm giving you a call right now because I'm in the mortgage space. We transfer existing mortgages right now to save you X percentage rate from what you're currently doing right now. Now, I know that's not a big number to you, but over the long run, it's going to save you about $15,000 to $25,000 just in interest payments. Okay, we handle all the paperwork for you. Let me ask you this. If I could get that done for you, if I could save you $25,000, would you give me 10 minutes to stop by your office today?
Okay, that makes sense.
And then I'm going to use that to know where I'm going from there. He's going to give me something, and this is so this is where you need to know where to go. I'm going to give a guy a road to go down. And if he goes down it, then I need to know where to take him. If he doesn't go down it, then I need to know how to handle it. No, we're not interested. Of course you're not interested, man. I mean, I called you out of the blue. It'd be weird if you were interested. What I want to do is I want to be there when this makes sense for you to look at. So how often would you consider a mortgage transfer? Well, we would never consider that. Well, I know you never have considered it, but if I saved you $25,000 when you don't want to just get rid of that money anyways, would you consider it? That's where I need to know, and that's where inside Master the Cold Call, the objection handling teaches you, when they go down a path, how to handle it, right? So use that, man, and pay attention to why these people would do that and use it in the call, right? So thanks a lot for that call, man. I appreciate it. So guys, getting back to the 8 ways to guarantee success, I do want to cover these and I want to get down. So you're going to be able to find this video inside Master the Cold Call. I know the calls are stacking up, but we're on number 4 right now. Know your pitch cold. One thing that we do in our office, we role play every single day. Dude, it is hard to cold call, but most people don't want to do it. So that's where a lot of the money's at. Most people don't want to get good at cold calling. So typically in businesses, the people who, you know, are getting some good commissions are ones who are doing the hardest things, the ones that like nobody else can do. Well, dude, know your pitch. You got to know it, which means you got to role play every day. 6 training segments from the program is not a made up number. It's something that we determined, hey, look, if I'm spending at least 20 minutes of training every single day, I can get myself back in the game every morning to get focused about what I'm doing to continue to resell myself on being able to push hard in this every day. And I'm going to role play after that for at least 10 or 15 minutes. If you don't have somebody to role play with, do what I did and just sit up next to the wall and just sit there and kind of pitch yourself. Go over it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times before you jump on the phones. That way you're not practicing with your customers. Next caller.
You got Christine in San Francisco.
Yeah, my favorite, Christine. How are you?
Hey, Steve. I am fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing incredible. I appreciate you calling.
Good.
What can I help you out with this week?
Great. So quickly, thanks for helping me with Cardone U. I appreciate it. You're like the best.
Thank you.
And secondly, as you know, I'm the LinkedIn Jedi Master, and I want to get into pharmaceutical companies.
Okay.
To senior executives and offer consulting.
Good.
And this is a little more involved than just me, but it's my team. So we have an in at Pfizer. We want to target senior executives in senior leadership in the U.S., France, and Ireland.
Okay.
And we can use LinkedIn, obviously.
Right.
So I'm interested in what your I don't know if you guys do anything with pharmaceutical companies. I'm interested in your recommendations.
Yeah. So what I would do is I would go back to this. I would go back to why would they do business with you, and I would really think about that. And I would get down to it. Use that in your pitch. You know, like when it comes down to the big claim, and remember the first sale is on time. Like I don't.
Right.
I'm trying to sell somebody on, I know that if I can talk to somebody and I can actually get my pitch out, most people like understand their pitch well enough that if they could actually get enough pitches out, they could get more deals. The problem is that they don't have enough people to pitch. So the biggest challenge is actually selling people on giving them that time. That's kind of what the entire Master the Cold Call is about. Master the Cold Call is about, hey, giving me time. And so what I would do is I would figure out, hey, why would somebody in this industry, or any industry, by the way, give me time for what I have? Mm-hmm. Is it going to sell? Is it going to help? Is it going to help? Is it an investment for them? Is it going to make them money? Is it going to save them money? Is it going to reduce what they're spending in advertising and blah, 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 and da, da, da? Like, I just need to know, like, why? And this goes back to dominant buying motive, you know? And so I'm going to use questions to try to get people to have their own idea that I need that, right? So why would these companies want to do business with you?
Right.
You know? Well, so like, but let's figure it out though. Let's go deep on it. So that way we can help other people. I want to show you guys how surface level most people are on their dominant buying motive and where they actually need to be. So like for you, Christine, why would one of these companies want to do business with you?
So the big claim with this, because I'm working with a team, is increase the performance goals 25%.
Good. Increase performance goals by 25%. Okay, 25%. Good.
And obviously it goes deeper than that, but that's the information that I have. No,
this is good. This is good. And you probably know this better because I think we've had this conversation before. But just to help everybody else that's out there, why would I want to increase my performance goals by 25%? Because
then, and again, this isn't an industry that I know intimately yet, but it's, better return for shareholders, better employee culture. I'm not exactly sure, but that's
this is great. Well, this is where we need to get sure.
Those lines.
And
it will make them look better, so they get promoted.
Oh wow, promotion. See, this is the actual real truth. This is where people are missing on their cold calls because they're not actually getting to the real truth. They're staying surface level rather than like getting people to the place where they actually want to be. Where if I can call somebody up and I can talk about a promotion, like that would be important to a company, right? So get better returns for their shareholders. You know, these are the things that I would be talking about, you know, and you mentioned something else in there. Like, so these companies, like every company's trying to scale a lot, like the public companies, like they've got shareholders, like these are the things. Look, we're providing a product that would actually help shareholders be more confident in the scalability of their business with Cardone University. If I'm calling a public company, that's really important. That would be really important for me to talk about because that's what their attention's on all the time. It goes back to like knowing your audience and like knowing who you're calling. And this is where a lot of people are missing on the cold call because they're too busy thinking about themselves versus solving a problem for somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So quick follow up. So we do have an in at Pfizer. How do you recommend leveraging that in for referrals to like other pharmaceutical companies, you know, the whole who do you know?
Well, so you already have a deal with these people?
Yeah, with Pfizer we have a deal. We're already working with Pfizer, but we want to get into other companies.
Okay, so what I would do is I would find out, and maybe I might even bring up like who do you like personally know that they're already connected to? Like, because you're probably thinking about somebody right now. You're like, hey, I know they know this company, and I want to get in with them.
Right. So who do you know at Novartis? Who do you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, listen.
Okay.
Hey, you guys know people over at blah blah blah, right? Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Good. Who should I be talking to over there?
Okay. Super.
You know, that's the question.
This is so good.
Yeah, hey, and then they're going to be like, well, we don't really know anybody. Well, who was the last person you talked to over there? Well, I don't really remember. If you did remember, who would it be? You know, like these are the, you know, so this is where all the like the stuff starts coming up, man. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, you know what? You know what, Christine? I owe you one. You helped us out. You know what? Call John over there. I know John. Here's his number. Blah blah blah. Like this is how you guys really get in there and sell people and giving you referrals.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot for the call. I appreciate calling in every week.
Yeah.
All right, guys, look, getting back to the 8 ways to guarantee success. So we just got back from like know your pitch cold. You got to know it like stone cold. Okay. You got to know the deal. The other thing is we're going to go into this. Do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. Okay. Let me tell you a story. I had one of my new sales guys. He got this cell phone number of a big business owner. Guy owns a big multi-million dollar company. And, you know, he's talking to me and he's like, hey, so like do you want to call him or like, and I was like, well, am I going to keep the whole deal? And he's like, well, you're going to split it with me, right? And I'm like, well, not if I call him, you got to call him. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, like, what do I say to him? I'm like, well, I don't know. What would you say based off the training, you know? And he's like going through it. This is a new guy, remember? And so he gets in there and he's like thinking, he's like, well, what should I should say? And I'm like, hey, why don't you just dial the number? You got it, right? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, just dial it right now. He dials the number, gets the guy on the phone, and then I said, talk to him. Okay, and because I'm trying to work the muscle out with that guy, and I'm watching him, so we're not like trying to blow a deal. You can't ever blow a deal on one thing, you know? So don't be discouraged. You have nothing to lose. That's what I told him. I said, dude, you actually have nothing to lose. Are you doing a deal with him right now? No. How could you do a deal with him? By calling him? That's the only way that you could. Hey, let me ask you this. What if he totally hates your pitch? Hangs up on you. Good. What'd you lose? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like, but he practiced the muscle of like courage right there. So know that you have nothing to lose. Number 6, believe that you have the best price, the best value. I know somebody here on this call is gonna have something that has to do with a price, right? Because they think that price determines everything. And so I'm going to talk about that, but I'm going to take a caller.
Now you got Spiro in Oregon.
Yeah.
New York.
Spiro, how you doing?
What's up, bud?
Not much, man. I've heard a lot about you from my friend Brian.
Yeah, Brian's the man, brother.
He's the man. He's the man. What can I help you out with this week?
So, you know, this is my second go around in the ambassador program. I mean, I'm kind of like addicted to Cardone University at this point.
Good.
My first go around, I just did it as a test in the beginning. And then I really dove into it, and Cardone University actually just keeps me focused on my business. So what's been happening over the last, I would say, since December, I've kind of turned into like a solopreneur to growing my business from just me to 8 or 9 other guys.
Okay.
I just recruited. I recruited one guy, and I sold him on my vision of what I'm trying to build. I'm in the insurance and financial services industry, and this guy just took my vision, ran with it, just recruited like 8 or 9 other guys.
Good.
So, I'm experiencing hyper growth, but the one thing that I identified that I have a real big problem with, and I was actually doing this segment last night, is the phoning.
Yeah.
The phoning has been a real, not a problem. I know I'm good at it, but something's just, when I get into the office, I'll just look for other shit to do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly, man. And for even the elite people, for me, for all the top guys in my office, it takes less than 1 day to get rusty. Less than 1 day. That's why, Grant always says, look, even a statistic, like an upstat, like if you got a statistic that's going up, if you leave it alone, it'll fall. So there's got to be somebody there that holds that stat up. So if you're doing good on the calls, most people, they always abandon what got them there in the first place. And, this is what happens a lot of times on the second or third go around to Cardone U. And so what I always like to go back to is some of these videos like the one I'm talking about today that has a lot of value that you may overlook. And because it reminds you of what you're doing every day. I got 8 tips out of one video that I've seen probably 10 times. And it's something that I was like, oh, wow, I know that I'm not doing this. I know I'm not doing that. I got a guy who's not doing that. And so you said that sometimes, you're finding other things to do and the program helps you out. But are you using this program with your company as well?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to get this program into my company. So, I'm in a one person office. It's just me.
Oh, okay.
I'm totally detached from the main agency.
Okay.
So I'm actually now negotiating. This is why I couldn't come to GrowthCon. I'm looking at new office space. So I need to house these guys. Where am I going to put them? I can't have them work from home. Because these guys will just do nothing all day. So they need some hand holding. So now I'm in the process of negotiating leases. I'm looking at office spaces. So, not only has my business grown too, but so have my expenses.
Yeah.
My expenses have gone on. I'm looking at 3,000 square feet now. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but I'm willing to take it. I can't. There's no risk, there's no reward, right?
Yeah, Grant always talks about this. Is you're always going to have problems, Yep. And you're always going to have problems. I got friends who've got such small little baby problems, where they're they don't, maybe some old cousins or something, that I haven't talked to in a little while. And they got problems of man, I can't afford to do this, or oh, I can't come out and see you, or oh, you were in town, but I couldn't afford to drive the hour and a half that you were there. Dude, that's such a small problem. I've got problems too. I got problems, but they're just so much bigger than those little ones, And so this is what Grant talks about, man. Just trade in those little small problems for the big problems, which is what you're doing as a business owner. It's exactly what you should be doing. And the more big problems you get, you've never ran into a problem that you just haven't been able to handle, right?
Absolutely.
So going back to this right here, number 5, don't be discouraged. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose whatsoever. So if you guys notice, when you start creating problems and stirring stuff up, did you always figure out how to handle it, right? If you just pick up the phone and call somebody, you're I got a problem, but I work it out, man. I figure it out. I figure out, hey, what can I do? And then I start working the deal out, man. So thanks a lot for that call. And, I was going with a bigger message there just to the people watching, just because, there's This guy's he's doing everything he should be doing. He's on Cardone University. He's in year 2 or 3, and he's actually like growing and scaling this out. So what I want to do is I want to finish this off to the last 2, and then I'm going to take a final caller. If you guys haven't been to GrantCardoneBootcamp.com, grab that. We're actually taking that down, and I want you guys to take advantage of it. So number 7, treat everyone respectfully. Okay, you're cold calling. You're actually cold calling, and so what you need to know is that, dude, look, some people are going to be mean, they're going to be ugly, they're going to be nasty. That doesn't mean that you have to be. There would be no reason for you to actually be like, hey, you know what? Screw you too, man. You know, like, dude, you don't need to do that. Why would you want to do that, man? I'm always like, you know, sorry. Like I get a guy who's so mad at us. I'm like, sir, what? I mean, come on, like, what are you so mad about? I'm calling you right now. I'm talking to you about increasing your business $1 million. I mean, you're that man. Come on, buddy. Come on, man. Come on. So I got to keep a good attitude, man. If I don't have a good attitude, then what happens? I actually mess myself up. If I get a bad attitude, I'm like, this is where Grant always talks about negative self-talk. Don't do it. You know, like, hey, you know, these people, they suck. That guy's not a decision maker. He can't do this. He can't do that. Dude, what am I doing? I'm just like, I'm like, not you need to get back in Cardone U is what you need to do. You need to go to 100 Ways to Stay Motivated. That's what you need to go back in and know that, like, oh, wow, I'm talking to an influencer in the company. I got people come up here all the time trying, hey, I need to talk to Grant. I'm like, yeah, well, what do you need? Yeah, well, no, I don't want to talk to you. I need to talk to Grant. I'm like, okay, buddy, well, good luck. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm the only guy who can get to Grant. There's only 2 people right now who can get to Grant right now, and you ain't one of them. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like, treat people respectfully. Be nice, man. Like, know who they are, too. If they're an influencer, dude, treat them like they freaking run the joint, because the reality is this. They're freaking running a big part inside that company. If you can solve some problems for them, they might be like, hey, yo, big guy, you know, to the CEO, they're like, hey, big guy, listen, you need to go talk to this person right here. We need this deal ASAP, man. This guy's awesome. They got a great product. We should be on the phone with them. And then all of a sudden, you're in the deal, all because you had a good attitude, okay? So, and lastly, okay, I want you guys to write this down if you're taking notes at home. Never depend on one call. I get people who mess this up all the time. They call up here all the time and they're like, hey, can you deliver a message for me? I'm like, yeah, buddy, what do you got? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just, you know, I'm like, I take the message down. Who knows what happens? Like, I'm in the middle of my day. I'm running around. Like, I don't know if I'm giving this to somebody, you know? And then if I call somebody, look, this is where Grant says, look, talk to 2 or 3 people in a company, you know? And maybe if I call and leave a message, I don't even know if they got it. Like, if you're like me, my phone blows up all the time. It's just lit up all the time with people calling it. So I miss things, like, not on purpose. I'm like trying to get to all of them, but sometimes I don't even know people call. They're like, hey man, I gave you a call the other day. I'm like, when? You know, like, what? Maybe I was in a bad reception area. You thought you called me. I didn't get the call because maybe my building blocks the service every single day. You know, and then all of a sudden I don't get a phone call. I never got a communication from you, and you relied on one phone call. So don't do that to yourself. They hung up? Okay, good. Guys, listen, here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. I want you guys to study the program, 6 training segments every single day. Okay, it's been a huge help for me in my entire life. It's something that I'm going to take with me forever. I want you to do the same. Get committed now so that way you can use this stuff. But just like my man Spiro said, he said, hey, listen, I've already been on this program for a year. It helped me tremendously, but I still need the program every single day to remind me, like, why I'm getting back on the phones, you know, why am I getting back in the game, you know? And so I'm going to leave you with this. I had one guy send up a script. So he sent me this big long script right here, and I started reading through it, and I was like, it was just a nightmare. I was like, you know, and so none of this, by the way, is inside the Cardone University. So I want you guys, like, look, if you've got this and then you're training on this, like, you need to pick one, because, like, one of them, like, you can't train on 2 different things, you know? So you're trying to, you're studying Spanish and you're trying to speak English. Like, you're going to just wind up in circles for yourself. So, like, use the material inside the program. This guy, you know, and this guy called up, he's a real estate company. He said, hey, hello, this is Carl. I'm calling from blah, blah, blah real estate. Mr. or Mrs., are you Mr. or Mrs. Blank? I'm calling you today because we have been helping homeowners like you sell their home for excellent prices. Plus, we get them a great deal on the purchase of their next home. So I was wondering, when do you suppose you will be selling? You know, like there's not enough stickiness in there. I feel like this script, the only way, if you got to make 1,000 phone calls a day to get success on this script, and you're just looking for low. I'm talking about fruit that's already on the ground, like ready to go, where you're going to get a deal with this. So, you know, what Grant talks about is he's like, dude, build some urgency. You know, actually build some interest, like be interested in them, and that's what you want to do on the call. So let me give you a simple cold call for real estate listings. Okay, so this one is, hey, my name's Carl. I'm from RE/MAX in Miami. Okay, the reason I'm calling you is we have buyers actively seeking to buy half-acre lots in the 33141 area code. To be sure I'm not wasting your time, do you currently own a home in the 3341 area code? You do. Excellent. Is there a reason you haven't listed your home or you haven't already sold it? You know, like I want to build some interest, like, you know, where I can like bring the guy back into the call. You know, so listen to the first part. Hey, this is Joe. I'm calling from RE/MAX in Miami. How are you? Excellent. The reason I'm calling is I have buyers actively seeking to buy half-acre lots in the 33141 zip code. To be sure I'm not wasting your time, do you have a home do you have a half-acre lot in the 33141 area code? The guy's like, yeah, I do actually. Like I'm going to bring him back into the call, man, so that way I can get some communication between each other. Right? This big long like survey, like I just want you guys to understand, like when I got people who call me and they got scripts like this, the first thing that comes to my mind is how does this guy think that he deserves my time right now? You get maybe 6 seconds before I hang up on you. Like you haven't earned this yet. So I need to like draw some interest on the deal. I need to get somebody excited. Hey man, I'm calling you from RE/MAX here in Miami. I got clients right now, they're actively seeking half-acre lots in the 33141 area code, but I know it's the first time we've talked, to be sure I'm not wasting your time. Do you have a half-acre lot in the 33141 area code? You do? I got buyers right now actively seeking that. Hey, why haven't you sold your property yet? I mean, it's the top of the market. Things are going great right now. Is there a problem with the property? No, we got a great property. Excellent. And then I'm going to my deal and I'm going to sell them on getting some time about coming by. So guys, use the material inside the program. Study the program. Like these things, when you start getting 6 segments every single day, you're just stacking information on top of each other. So go to grantcardonebootcamp.com. If you guys want to get this injected into you for 3 days, just to plug into GC for 3 days, 8 hours, 3 days in a row. We're going to take care of your hotel, by the way. If you do it today, go to grantcardonebootcamp.com. This is my favorite event, by the way. And this is where GC gets real raw. This is where he lights up. This is where you start seeing like, you know, the real GC lasers coming out of his eyes. It gets really good. So we've got a big binder of material that we're going to take you through. So we'll see you guys back here next Wednesday. Cardone University Mastermind. Thank you guys. Appreciate your time this week.